Hey, I use Sleazy Escape. Huh? Oh yeah. Who are you guys? The ultimate completionist. Oh, so you checked out my YouTube. Hopefully you liked and subscribed. No, I didn't like and subscribe. I only watch Oda on Twitch. Oh, well, thanks for... Don't you know the collection log can't be completed? Well, that's actually a misconception at this point. With the increase in elite clue rates, we should be seeing someone complete in a few years here. Do you know what world you're in? What? So, you figured you could use the high-risk world to sneak wildy completion by and no one would notice? Don't you know that the wilderness is designed to stop both completionists and ultimate Iron Men from achieving their goals? This is our world. We're gonna make your life a living hell. So you give up and go back to skilling. You don't even have a chance. Well, I guess I'll see you out there then. You better hope we don't. Alright, so before I get into the progress here, I guess it's finally time to talk about the wipe that actually caused this series. We got into the 4th episode, so I got it pulled up here next to me, but I'll probably just put it on screen for you guys. That is like the actual items and everything. So yeah, like I said, I wiped to Wintertodd, basically. Wintertodd is 99% safe, pretty much, and I've received a lot of flack for sort of, you know, the common phrase is, don't do dangerous content deathbanked, and that sort of doesn't really apply to content that might be dangerous under some circumstances or not. Because at the end of the day, there's danger everywhere, no matter what you're doing. You know, there could be some insane possibility where you DC or walk somewhere somehow by accident. Like, you can never say something is 100% safe. And that's just the risk you take when you're death banking. And it's a risk I was willing to take. And so, you know, you can say that I made a dumb decision or whatever, but I am accepting the consequences of it and moving forward, and really that's the point of the game mode at the end of the day. Not to just play everything perfectly safe so you never lose anything, but to recover from your losses. Alright, so looking at the items, obviously the first thing and the biggest loss to me was the T-bow, and not just because T-bow is the longest mega rare to get. Chambers is the closest I am to the capes in terms of KC, so the most likely that I'll have to do extra KC just to get that back. But also because I spooned this T-bow when this account was very, very young. Like literally 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. And it kind of has some sentimental value to me because of that. So that's probably the biggest reason why, or the biggest loss, and the biggest reason why, you know, it sucks to lose it. I can always get another one, but it won't be the same one, if you know what I mean. So, moving on from that, Shadow. I'm not as concerned about the Shadow because, Toa, I have like almost 1,500 more KC to go, so I will pretty much certainly get another one by the time I do that. The only thing that sucks is having to do other content that could have benefited from it, and also, you know, Toa itself would have benefited from it as well, but, you know, if I just do FFA teams and stuff like that, like, it really wouldn't have made it much faster, and I saved runes by not using it, so there is that, at least. But then we come to the biggest skilling loss, for sure, which, is the 10 million broad arrowheads and headless arrows. The 10 million broad arrowheads costed, well, it was a little over 10 million. It was like 10 million and 300k or something like that. But that costed 650 mil GP, and so I used, looks like almost little, like between 500 and 700k of them before I wiped, so roughly about 600 mil GP was lost. And then obviously making 10 million headless arrows takes a long time. Like, that is pretty much a quarter of 200 mil fletching just in the headless arrows. So I'll basically have to do, you know, an extra 50% or so of 200 mil fletching to get to 200 mil fletching. However, fletching is my favorite skill. I love multi-skilling, and I should still have enough skills to do along with it that time-wise it won't really be a big deal. Other things that I wiped, Torva sucks. Like, I loved my Torva, but Oathblade exists now, so not a big deal, really. Not nearly as big of a deal. There's a lot of Chambers loot I wiped. I did, like, over 1,000 CMs and a few hundred normals. And more or less, other than, like, some Mixology I did, and, well, I did use a bunch of it on the Sepulchre grind that I was doing. I cut a bunch of gems, and used a bunch of teak planks. You know, there's still a lot left, especially the herbs. I mean, this was easily enough to get me past my 50 mil goal. Probably even closer to 100 mil, if I'm being honest. But being a PVMer, you get tons of herbs, even though they just nerfed a lot of, you know, the extreme sources of herbs. There's just, you know, Slayer's my lowest skill still, and that's where a lot of herbs come from. So really, these herbs were kind of extra. It sucks to lose, because it would have been really nice to just bang out a ton of Herbler XP and just have potions forever. Which I already kind of had enough potions forever, but, like, this would have been really enough potions forever. There's that, and then let's see here, a bunch of PVM items I'll just go through real quick. So, Maul, I'll want to get that back. I'm not grinding another hammer. I've grinded 2 hammers already. I don't need it, really. I can just use BGS until I get them all. Kodai, I actually already got that back from a Big Chambers, got quite lucky there, so we take those. Lance, won't be getting that back until I have a T-bow, if ever. It just depends on whether I get Hydra Pet first or not. You know, I probably wouldn't grind Hydra past Pet just for Lance. I can use Fang for a lot of stuff. It could be something to consider down the road, but right now I'm just not really worried about it. Claws, if I get them, great. Otherwise, you know, screw it. I'll be getting a Voidwaker shortly here, and from the Wildy grinds, and that should be, you know, you could argue all day whether Claws or Voidwaker or Burning Claws are better. I think Burning Claws are the best overall, personally, but at the end of the day, if you have one of them, that really covers most of the situations. Let's see here. Rapier, don't need it really. Was just kind of keeping it. If I get it again, I'll keep it again. If I don't, whatever. Fang, obviously getting that back. Prims, I'll be getting that back as well and going for the Delve boots when they come out. Zenites, I won't be getting Suffering back. Everyone knows at this point Suffering's a meme for UIMs. Buckler, that's basically just for chinning. It's whatever. Like, I guess it could be used if I ZCB Leviathan grind, but whatever. Ferocious Gloves, same boat as Lance, although I probably would grind past Pet to get those since it's a shorter grind, supposedly, than Lance, and it's used in many more places. It's quite a good item. Din's Bulwark, one of my personal favorite items, even though most people wouldn't keep it, I definitely want it, and if I do get it again from big chambers or whatever, I'll keep it. It's really good for barraging, like I'd use it for Slayer, and like potentially it could save a lot of time if I do a ton of jellies for hard clues in like the end game when I'm just grinding clues for mega rares and stuff. It would help a lot in that part of the game. Let's see what else. Ring of Endurance, I'll get more of those, no worries on that one. I already have gotten like 25 or something from the agility grind, and I will be doing way more Sepulchre, so it doesn't matter. B-Ring, already got that back. Light Bear, of course, I'll get that. It's similar to Fang, like it's pretty quick and useful. It's something I considered dropping like time to time and then going back to Toa, getting more KC for the caves while getting it back for whatever content I need it for. Let's see here. Occult, obviously, you'll get it during Slayer, and I definitely want it. It's one of the biggest upgrades even after the nerf to Magic, so hopefully I'll just get it on like a point task at some point, but if not, it'll be part of the, Serp Boots / Zenites / Tormented Demons / Araxor, just like Slayer rebuild stuff. And as far as PVM items, that's mostly it. Oh, I guess one other thing I forgot was the Tool Seed and also the two-hand axe handle. That really sucks to lose. I'm not getting another two-hand axe handle. Lore Street sucks, and it is even worse now after, the nerf that happened like long ass time ago. But anyway, yeah, I've already greenlocked Zelcano, and crystal tools are nice, but they really aren't needed for most methods that are, EHP. I think most people probably value the Crystal Pick the most because of VM, but I won't be doing any more VM. It makes zero difference at Granite or Sandstone if it does come to that, which I'll mention in a minute here. Crystal Axe is probably the best, simply because it makes Redwoods, like, it is an insane difference on Redwoods. But, at this point, with cranes existing, I'm just planning on AFKing Redwoods to 200 mil. There's not really a reason to care too much about how the efficiency of my woodcutting, I guess, when that exists, and that's just gonna be my go-to AFK, pretty much, is Redwoods. And then the Harpoon, obviously, with Barblore existing, there's just no reason to use it. If I needed more fishing XP and didn't have potions for Barblore, I think 2-tick swords would be better if I had a Crystal Harpoon, but at the end of the day, just regular old 3-tick barb isn't that bad. and I'd probably just do that. And, you know, you also have to consider all the crystal shards that go into using it, so at the end of the day, I doubt I'll go for another crystal pick, or crystal tool seed, I mean, maybe just because with the Zelcano buffs, the XP isn't that bad, so, you know, I could use it. I could maybe go for another one. It just depends on what my plans for 200 mils are later on down the road. The other thing as well that I forgot to mention is the seaweed and sand that I had. It's kind of a, like, you know, people always joke that when you wipe, you free yourself of your trash, and this is one of those things that, like, I didn't really need with cranes being around. I gathered the seaweed before cranes even existed, so that shows you how long it's been sitting there. So if cranes do get nerfed, though, this would be a pretty rough loss. But we'll just have to see what happens with that, to be honest. Yeah, and I think that's about it. I guess, oh yeah, I guess one other thing to mention is, these are a ton of runes, mostly from Goater and Sepulcher, but I'll get more runes, it's fine. I still have 140 mil runecrafting XP to go. I still have 120 mil, 115 mil, agility XP to go. I think I'll be fine on runes. And that's pretty much it. The response to me wiping, obviously being one of the biggest wipes ever, a lot of people had stuff to say about it. At the beginning, people were honestly really supportive. I was kind of surprised by how supportive people are generally when this kind of thing happens, especially to someone who's a bit more controversial than your average person. I have hot takes, if you didn't know. You know, people take it as a reason to feel superior, and but at first that didn't really seem to be the case. Like, most people were very supportive, and, you know, there was a lot of holy shit, this looks horrible. But as we've gone further down the road, people have become less supportive for sure. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what people say. I'm rebuilding, whether, you know, no matter how bad the wipe is, you can always come back from it. And I would encourage anyone else who has experienced something similar, no matter the magnitude, to just consider that you can come back from anything, really. It's never as bad as it seems, and you know, like, the first few days of me after I got over the initial shock, it was really fun. Like, I had been used to months-long grinds, even like year-long grinds, and being able to just go to moons and finish it in 3 days, and then have some new gear that you can actually use, and it's not just thrown away. It was fun. So, you know, I find rebuilding to be pretty fun, actually. I think I would hate it a lot more if I lost my stats and stuff, rather than my items. But, you know, being maxed and having all that available to me and the storable items that I had really helps make it way less terrible to deal with. So, anyways, I just wanted to say that, like, anyone who has experienced a similar loss, you know, it's not the end of the world. Anyone can come back from it. Alright, so I just wanted to update, oh wow, crawling hand, that's crazy. I just wanted to update, the wilderness, progress. Basically, as far as wilderness bosses goes, I need to finish up Vedion, or Calvarion rather, just 2 more items there, the Voidwaker piece, and the, Rev Weapon attachment. I need several more things from Revs, 2 out of the 3 weapons, and a bunch of little, or those artifacts, I guess you call them. And then I need the full Elder Chaos robes and a singular shard from Chaos Fanatic, which both of those will happen once I get a crossbow. And hopefully don't lose it. But, you know, if you don't know already, I'm not the greatest at keeping my stuff in the wilderness, so. And that's about it. I guess you could include the Champion Scrolls, which is, Earth Warrior and Lesser Demon for the most part. I could go for the Hobgoblin one, but I feel like it's probably just easier to canon them. So anyway, or canon them on the peninsula or whatever in outside the wilderness, because then I don't have the death vial and all that stuff. So getting closer and closer, to be honest. So I guess we'll start checking out what we did over the past few weeks. Alright, so because I got that dupe, Dameron's last episode, I decided to just full send the Artio pet with Thameron's, because if I lose it, I'll still have another one to make the Accursed with. I don't think I'm getting 2 skulls, to be honest, so and also I don't know how much Accursed would really matter here. The Thameron's itself is just so much better than what I was using previously, the Crystal Bow setup, that it's just honestly good enough. I don't need to wait to get the skull. So I also want to knock out at least one more wildy boss, because then I can use up the supplies that it drops without worrying about getting more. And my bag has been a little bit rough doing all these Wildy Slayer tasks and everything all at once. So once I finish this up, I can use up the red d'hide and the mahogany logs and, you know, whatever else I can come up with that the other bosses don't drop. But I still have 2 wildy pets to grind and all the revs, so I could actually get enough logs to just do the whole thing. Plus the first inventory with Forester kit, so 2 inventories is redwoods. Oh, back-to-back longbow. Very cool. I'd love to see that. Bit of change of plans here. After doing about 500 RDO with the Thameron Scepter, I realized that I'm using Ether way faster than I thought I would, and I don't think I'll have enough Ether to do all the wilderness grinds with it, so I figured, you know, Calvarion's probably the easiest boss, and it's the one I already have the pet for, so I'll just go ahead and finish off Calvarion, and that way I could use Accursed, I could finish the Voidwaker, and save some Ether in the future. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and then after that, it'll be return back to the RDO grind until I run out of Ether or get the pet, really. And so that's pretty much the plan at this point. Let's go! I got a Accursed! Hell yeah! Dameron's. Boom! Accursed Scepter. shit, guess I was wrong. Alright, this proves that UIM is the superior game mode. Next level clue stacking. Let's go! Let's go! Holy fuck, we're done! Let's fucking go! Alrighty, making the Voidwaker. Yes, please. Hell yeah, look at this thing. This is probably the biggest upgrade I've gotten so far. Right, so, that will be it for Vedion and Calvarion. That's green. I definitely spooned it, which, if I had to pick one of the three, this would not be it, but I'm glad I spooned one at least. Even discounting the pet I spooned a long time ago, this still is really spooned, like the Voidwaker Blades 1 in 900 from Calvarion. And I got the two Skull of Vedions, which are 1 in 500, and so I can have the backup Accursed Scepter if I lose one. So all in all, that just catapulted me forwards in this long grind in the wilderness. So, and that will help a lot because, as I've realized recently, sailing's coming out soon. And if I'm still stuck in this wildy grind while sailing's going on, I'm going to have a bad time. So let's see if we can keep it going with an RDO pet soon, and then we'll be in really good shape. Get bone, noob. I'm really happy I decided to go kill Calvarion, even though I didn't have Vigorous or Ursine yet. I think it's highly likely that I wouldn't have had enough ether to finish out the rest of the grinds with exclusively wildy weapons, so, you know, saving some ether just means I can use it elsewhere. It didn't take too long, and this Accursed Scepter is actually a lot better than Thameron's. I didn't think it would be that much of a difference, but it's definitely noticeable. And then I got to finish Voidwaker, which is exciting, and finish off one of the bosses entirely, so that means I can blast through some of the skilling supplies that Calvarion drops, and then hopefully I can use the Accursed Scepter to finish RDO as well, and then I'll have another set of skilling supplies that I can finish off, and my bag should be looking a lot better at that point. There's just, between all three of the bosses and Laren's chest and Revs, like, there's just a lot of stuff to hold on to, so yeah, that will be really exciting if we end up with Callisto Cub soon. And that's 1500 KC, so let's go. 1400 was the halfway point to rate, so we're, you know, starting to enter the territory where could be getting it soon, hopefully. I would love to finish this boss. It's definitely my least favorite. My list for the wildy bosses is definitely Calvarion best, Spindle second, and RDO worst. Comment your list of preferred wildy bosses. Oh, nice. Money. Holy shit, there's no way I'm lucky on another one. Alright, so now that we got another one done, it's time to do all these clues I got from Calvarion and Ardeo. After that, the next step will be Revs. I'm trying to hopefully finish Revs before I move on back to Spindle and Elder Chaos Druids, but like we're running out of stuff to do in the wilderness, which is absolutely amazing. Only one more pet to be done with all of the wilderness pets, and I honestly can't wait for that. That is something I've wanted for so long, but always thought, you know, that is so much work. Like, how am I ever gonna do that? And now it's getting closer and closer. So honestly, I am feeling way better this episode. I'm way more excited about all this stuff. So we'll see how Revs goes, but I gotta do these clues and then get a task. So oh yeah, and one more thing, I'll be using one of my accursed scepters for Revs. I might just eat both of them, because honestly I was only keeping them for Ardeo. So we'll see how I feel overall about that, and just, you know, play it by ear. Alright, got some clues to open. Holy shit, new gilded, that is huge. That was all worth it. Alright, so after that sick opening, I made some decisions here. I think I'm gonna try and do some mixology to use up some of these Lanthodimes and Renars that I got. The thing is I have no mock, so I was kind of thinking I could go do some KC at Earth Warriors for the Earth Warriors roll, and then they drop lots of mock seeds, so it's gonna take a while because I'll have to plant all the seeds as well and all that, but hopefully that means I can get through all this Lanthodime and Renar that I got, or at least some of them, and save some slots that way. What the fuck? First kill? A few trips before this, but geez. I am so glad to get this out of the way. I was really concerned about this one. Easy. So, as you can see, Jagex bugged the Rev Caves, and it killed me. So, on top of everything I lose legitimately, I also lose that. OMG1 Iron Man makes cape. Me respect. Respect you too. 59 fly fish. Alright, so I hit 400 tasks, and that means a Durabell task, and I got Smoke Devils, so hopefully we pick up the Occult here, and that's one thing we don't have to get later. Alright, looks like no Occult this time, but, you know, might as well take the chance. Honestly, shout out to my boy over here, MA2 is Scary. He's been killing the Vennies and stuff that come around, and he says I'm safe as a 126, so maybe he would kill me if I was lower level, I don't know. Another one. Okay, we take that. Only once though, please no dupes, please. Alright, so that is our 4th overall, I think. I dropped one though, so I need one more. Another one. Oh my god, yes, let's go. Spindle time, baby! Alright, so now that we have Vigorez, that basically means that I can go do Spindle whenever I want, but I'm gonna keep sticking with Revs for the moment. My thought process is basically I want to know how much ether I'm going to get from the entire Revs grind, and then we'll see where to allocate it after that, and when I run out of ether, I am not going back for more, that's for sure. Whoops, missed the 25 mil Slayer, and that's 25 mil base, so let's go. Alright, so now that I got this mace, I've decided that I'm gonna do any spider tasks I get. I'm kind of thinking I might not have enough keys from Rev, so I feel like now that there's only one boss to do, it might be worth it if it comes up, so guess we'll see. Alright, so I just missed it. That's 4,000 Revs, all on task. Surely the luck turns around. It's gotta. Oh, holy shit, let's go. This is actually huge for UIM. I'm so glad I got this. So I've been taking advantage of zombie tasks when Turiel skipping to just randomly get this clog eventually. Pretty easy. Alright, so just a small little note here. Anytime I get some herbs from my travels, there's 39 herb lore, that's what I was gonna say, but anytime I get some herbs from my travels, I just come here and pop it in here, and then, you know, whenever one of the types fill up, we do some Mixology to clear some room, so just wanted to get that taken care of and continuing forward with the herb lore as always. As a side note, these tutorial tasks that I'm doing are really good for Mox herbs, which is great. Eventually, I think Mox is going to be more of a problem, although there's plenty of, you know, higher level Slayer monsters that still drop, you know, Guam, Terramin, Marindil, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll just have to see really, but you know, as far as the herb lore machine and the requirements for what Mixology needs, Turiel helps a lot with that. So I've been thinking about other tasks to do, seeing as I might be pretty close to the end of Wilderness, or the end of Rev's Wilderness Slayer, but I might still need keys. And green dragons are a great task, as I said in my last video. But I think what I'm gonna do is when I'm Turiel skipping, just go for Revs and Spiders, the tasks that I absolutely have to do. Well, I don't have to do Spiders on task, but I mean I have to kill Spindle no matter what, whether it's on task or not. But once I start using points to skip, if I do things like Lesser Demons for the Champion Scroll, Green Dragons for the XP, that kind of stuff, I can make my points go longer. And maybe even build up a Wilderness streak to basically preserve those points. Alright, so here's another one that I'm going to voice over. Yeah, this guy has been harassing me, just like killing my ult and shit for like a week, few days to a week. And he finally got me. He ran up pretending to be a PVMer, and I did not telly, which was very dumb. I definitely should have tellied, so deserved, I guess. That's my Ursine Chain Mace gone, and as I'll say later, I'm not getting another one. Alright, so I calmed down a bit and did some tutorial skipping, doing my Konar points task now, and I figured I'd just talk a little bit about what happened. I have to be honest, this one hurt quite a bit. This is definitely the worst loss I've had in the wilderness so far. The mace is probably the most important rev weapon, considering my goals. With Spindle Pet obviously being my last pet, and all the melee Wilderness Slayer and stuff that I could be doing. I lost my only Claws of Callisto, so the best case scenario is if I get a dupe Vigorous, then I could use that. But I'll likely be finishing up Spindle with the Zombie Axe. Not ideal. However, that's not really the reason why this is so much worse. This guy had been stalking me and harassing me for several days, and it really felt like I was targeted specifically. And, you know, I don't think this guy cared about the 10 mil that he got from PKing me for the chain mace. That's not why he followed me for days, even weeks. He probably DMs 10 times that much all the time. The reason why he wanted this so bad and just, you know, was after me so much was because he knew it would hurt. And it did. It was the satisfaction of ruining someone else's time in the game. So, anyways, the answer to this is always, if you don't like it, just don't do it. And if that's always the answer, then why do we have this content in the game that is just there to, you know, you do it if you can stomach it, basically. It's really just to support toxic people like this. And, you know, these people, the only thing that they really want out of the game is to cause other people, quote-unquote, suffering. And I put that in quotes because at the end of the day, it's just a game. But I was happy with my mace. I was enjoying playing the game and using it. It was, you know, something exciting, it was just fun. And this guy really wanted to find a way to take that away from me, and he found a way. So, you know, I'm no stranger to losing things. I, you know, obviously started this series with a 5.5 bill loss with multiple mega rares and thousands of hours of bagged XP gone. But honestly, this hurt more than that just because of the circumstances surrounding it and the way that it happened. You know, it was thoughtful, it was coordinated, it was like a mission against me. So, I mean, I don't know. It just sucks, and I'll be happy to leave this place. Goes my fucking... How it's my fucking... Dude, I hate this so much, man. So yeah, literally not even like a couple hours later, I get to run into this lovely gentleman. Wait, what the fuck? That guy just logged out mid-attack? God damn it, dude. Oh my god, thank god. You have no idea how happy I am to see this dude. Shout out to the boy servers our shit. He wiped recently as well. Let's go, a new one. Alright, so that about marks 5,000 revenants. About 1,000 more to go till I'm halfway to the rate, but only 3 more items. It's starting to look quite a bit better. The average expected KC to complete is around 11,000, so probably quite a ways more. It just depends on if I can get lucky with 3 quite rare items. So, this episode has been quite the roller coaster for me. I started out with basically a bunch of dry streaks and just lucky things in general coming together. And I was feeling great, like, you know, all this cool new stuff, rev weapons, pets, and then shit went sideways. Hopefully I wasn't malding too hard for you guys. I'm definitely still feeling it. Faith in humanity is at an all-time low at this point. But I will keep reiterating, we never give up on a grind, and this one will be no different. Holy shit, maybe there's a chance.